casting directors do not determine your value. I think everybody's different and you never know what people are looking for. And I used to really be hard on myself and think, oh, I didn't look this way, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. And whether you get cast in something or not doesn't determine whether you are talented or not, or whether you are valuable. And if people aren't casting you, make your own work. You don't need to rely on sit back and wait for somebody to think that you're good enough. Create. I know it's easier said than done, but there's tons of different grants that you can apply for. And I think that there is a way for you to be able to get your work out there. So if other people aren't seeing it, when you're getting into a room, create it yourself.
Laughing Vikings Live. High vibe chats with actors, comedians, and creators, plus stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and most importantly, you. That's right, join us every Monday for new episodes, and you can be a part of the show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. Ask questions and interact in the comments, and make sure to share this with your actor, comedian, and creator friends so they can be a part of the show too. Can't make a live show? No problem. You can catch up on your favorite podcast platform and visit laughingvikings.com to find out how you can join the cast and crew. All right, it's time for today's show. Buckle up and make sure you stick around to the end because we have a special surprise for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Laughing Vikings Live. Happy Monday Fun Day. Let's go. Ba 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 ba. Welcome, 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 or as we like to say around Laughing Vikings, what up?
What's up?
That's Brandon's traditional greeting. What up?
What up?
What up? It's kind of like the "What's up" commercial from back in the day, but we turned the S into a T.
Yeah, exactly.
What up?
What up?
This is episode 110. We got some people saying hello here. Daniel Hope says, wow. And then he said, just for me. I assume he's speaking of the what up. What up, Daniel? What up? Welcome. Be sure right now, if you're watching this live broadcast on Facebook or YouTube, smash that share button. Share it with your other actor friends, your other comedian friends, your other artist friends, anyone who is a high vibe type person looking to grow and learn, especially in the arts. We got another great show today. Our guest is an actor and one of our recent hires here at Actors Audition Club. She's one of our audition session directors. We will give her a grand intro, and you'll get to meet her a little later in the show. But off the top, as you know, BK Broiler and I, that's Brandon Knox, we like to have a little banter, a little back and forth, little current events chat. What's new, BK?
Well, Lars, the Leafs lost to Arizona on Monday, and I'm not happy about it. They didn't deserve the win. But, you know, you still love them. I think they're going to do something special this year, Lars. It's going to be special. It's going to be great.
Right. Again, you sound like
rocky beginnings.
You sound like a person in a toxic relationship making excuses for your lover who is not treating you well.
I feel like you're perceiving it as a toxic relationship.
Who is not reciprocating any of the love, and you continue to make excuses, and you're like, no, these aren't. These bruises on my heart, I just fell down the stairs. It's nothing. Making excuses. Oh, he loves me. Oh, she loves me. It'll be this year. They're going to change. This is the year. I've had a lot of talks. I believe this is the year. Things are going to be different. And it just ends up being 60 years of an abusive, toxic relationship. We need a whole separate podcast actually for Brandon and the Leafs relationship. That I don't know if you'd call it a podcast.
Adam Langton pitched something to me once where he's like, we should just do happy Leafs news, like very positive Leafs news. And we'll make it like a YouTube just special where you'll just talk positively about the team.
Yeah, no matter what's happening. That has to happen only in the off season. Right? Just off season news.
Off-season news.
Yeah, or I mean, there should really be a therapy outlet or maybe some kind of 12-step program where Leafs fans can meet. Hi, I'm Brandon Knox. I've been a Leafs fan all my life, and I've recently hit rock bottom. What else in the let's move from sports.
I opened a show on Saturday, Cinderella at the Witchwood Theater. It's a pantomime. So much fun. We had some great crowds. Lars, you were at the very, very first show.
I was a large, giant man in a mostly parents and I don't know about toddlers, but they were young. I would say a lot of the kids were like between, I would say, 4 and 10-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
It was great. Pantomimes are great because there's not really a fourth wall. There's a lot of banter back and forth. There's a lot of call and receive. You guys did a great job getting the kids involved, and when the stepmother and the stepsisters come out, all the kids were like boo, boo, and they had certain other cues. Yeah, it was fantastic. All the music was great. You guys were great, and that was your opening show too. So I'm sure you're even tighter and even stronger now after getting those first show jitters. Mm-hmm. How do people get tickets, especially those people in Toronto who have kids?
They can go to tyttheater.com.
tyttheater.com. Maybe you can throw that in the chat-a-rooney. And how long's your run? You go to the end of November-ish?
We got extended, actually, until December 18th.
Nice.
So we got extended 14 shows. I'm going to be available for 8 of those shows. Because of some other previous commitments, but so we're extended until December 18th, which is very, very exciting.
Nice. And you're playing Prince Charming, if we didn't mention that.
I am
as well. So, spoiler alert: he gets the girl in the end. Did I spoil it? Yeah. If you've seen it.
I feel like people know what Cinderella's about.
Right. What else can we talk about? Oh, big news here in Comedy Alley. This is the last 2 weeks. We're closing the season. It's hard to believe. We opened May long weekend. We've had shows every Friday and Saturday the entire summer and fall season. But all good things must come to a close eventually. Mm-hmm. And here in Canada, that's because of our cold, shitty winters. So I got to move to an alley in somewhere in the Southern Hemisphere. But that means there's only 2 shows left. So I'm going to, we'll pop up there it is on screen. Mm-hmm. You can grab tickets. We only have 1 show this weekend on Saturday the 22nd. We've got a guest host. Anto Chan is hosting. Brandon will be there. Brandon, I think you should also do a spot. And Sashka DC is also on the lineup. And there'll be a couple other special guests. I unfortunately will not be in Comedy Alley on the weekend, but fortunately that's because I'm doing another show. I'll be opening again for Bob Rubin at the Royal Comedy Theatre in Toronto on Friday and Saturday. We're actually doing 4 shows at the Royal Comedy Theatre, which is a newish venue here in Toronto, so I'm excited to get on another stage. Mm-hmm. Bob Rubin's amazing. He's a comedy legend. You got to start in San Francisco back in the legendary days of Robin Williams, Bobcat Goldthwait, Dana Carvey, when San Francisco was really the hotbed of comedy creativity. And then all those guys eventually moved from San Francisco to LA. But Bob happens to spend a lot of time here in Toronto. He's been a regular here at Comedy Alley throughout the summer. And he's headlining, so he's doing full 45-minute, maybe 45-minute to an hour sets at Royal Comedy Theatre. He asked me to open for him. I'll be doing pretty long sets, 20, 25 minutes. And I believe there's an 8 p.m. and a 10:30 p.m. on both Fridays and Saturdays. So you can go to Royal Comedy Theatre for tickets to check out me and Bob.
Do you have a link, Lars?
I don't know that I have the actual link. I can probably find it real quick here. I don't know about you guys, but I installed something on my computer called Google. Google. Do you guys have it?
Ooh, you have the Google.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It is royalcomedy.ca. Royalcomedy.ca. You can grab tickets. Just look for Bob Rubin, October 21st and October 22nd. And yeah, I think that's up on Bloor, kind of the west end of Bloor a little bit. So if you've been wanting to see me perform all summer long and you haven't been able to make your way down to the alley, or if you're too sensitive to single-digit temperatures potentially, then you want to see us indoors. You can see us indoors at Royal Comedy Theatre this Friday and Saturday. And then the other thing I mentioned, Comedy Alley, only 2 weeks left. So there's tons of people. I get messages all the time. But, I got to come. I've been meaning to come. I want to come out. Got to come out. Got to check it out. Got to check it out. You only have 2 weeks left. This is it. And then November is going to come around and you'll be like, I have a weekend off. I want to come to the show. And I'm going to be saying, we just did fucking 50 shows for 6 months. No more shows. You missed it. So if you don't want to miss it, I'm talking directly to you, person who's been telling me all summer that you want to check out a show. Oh, yeah, we're going to check out a show. This is it. You got one chance. There's already tickets sold.
One opportunity.
One chance, one opportunity. Mom spaghetti. You better lose yourself in the alley.
In the alley, yeah.
Which means I'm talking to 40 people. There's 20 tickets left on Saturday. And the following weekend, the 29th, this is the biggie. It's our season ender. It's a Halloween show. You can't come unless you're dressed in a costume. The comedians are going to be in costumes. If you're one of those people who shows up to a Halloween thing dressed like a normal person, fuck you. You can't come. I'll refund your tickets. But if you want to come for the greatest Halloween show of your life in an alley, we call it Comedy Alley. We put a bunch of H's on the A. You guys get it? Comedy Alley. So it's going to be great. But don't get me started on losers who show up to Halloween parties thinking they're too cool for school wearing regular clothes. Or at least if you realize, if you get here and you're like, oh shit, this is a Halloween party, I'm dressed like a normal person, like an idiot. You have to make something up and just be like, oh, I'm an accountant. Look at me and my yeah, so don't be one of those people. So check out Comedy Alley. Check out Bob Rubin and myself at Royal Comedy Theatre. Check out Brandon at the Witchwood Theatre in his performance of Cinderella. And I want to give a shout out here. And I'm back. We got another shout out from one of our favorite clients here at Actors Audition Club. This might be a record. This might be a client shout out for 3 weeks in a row. We've talked about him. But this is from Chris Gleason. To know him is to love him. He's a regular here. He's been on a nice little booking tear. Just recently booked a role in a big series. And he sent us an email. He had a session on Monday morning. By Monday afternoon, I got this little message from him. He says, "Hi, Lars and Cheryl. I just can't thank you enough. I'm running out of words to properly express my gratitude, excitement, and pure joy of my tapes. I come to your studio pumped. I leave pumped. It's such a great feeling, and knowing that I've submitted something that gives me a great shot at booking. My agent said these words after watching my tape we did today. Tape is so, with 11 O's, tape is so great. It's fantastic, getting better and better. All not possible without you, and especially the wonderful and talent session director, Cheryl Poirier. Have a fabulous day. Hugs, Chris." So thank you so much, Chris. I think he exactly summed up our aim with all of our clients here is that they come in excited. They come in looking to have fun. They do have fun. They uncover some things that maybe they didn't find on their own. They get some help, and then they leave feeling happy, and they don't have to do anything. They just walk out of the studio, and their agent and casting has the tape. They don't have to worry about any of the tech troubles. They didn't have to bug a family member or a friend who's not an actor to try and belabor their way through a script. And they didn't have to edit it either. They just walk in, they have fun, perform, and then they leave, and then they get a call from their agent saying how fucking great that tape was. That is what we do. It's
a beautiful thing.
Yes, and I know you've worked with Chris as well. He's great, great energy. Yes, so thank you, Chris Gleason. And for those of you who need audition help, You can go to laughingvikings.com/auditions. You can book a Zoom session with the session director. You can book an in-studio session. You can also look up some of our workshops, some of our training resources, and all that kind of stuff. And also make sure that you listen to the podcast on your favorite platform. If you can't join us here live on Wednesdays, then join us anytime that fits you in the middle of the night while you're who knows what you're doing in the middle of the night. Daniel Hope says, what if I'm a weirdo and you want to dress like a normal person? I don't know. I mean, on Halloween, that's not the point of Halloween. You're missing out on Halloween, Daniel. We might not let you in. But first, buy tickets. Get tickets to Comedy Alley first at laughingvikings.com/Comedy Alley. Then worry about the costume. And if you don't want to wear a costume, we'll have to make a game time decision when you're at the door. And actually, no, you know what we can do? Here's what we can do. I've got a big wall of wigs and masks and all kinds of stuff. So if you show up unprepared, I'm just going to stick a mask on you. You might end up being a skeleton or Darth Vader or pirates or something like that. So,
but that's 2 weeks away. So let's worry about what's going on right now.
Yes.
And you ready to bring on our guest?
We are. Are we going to roll a clip first, or we're going to save the clip till later?
Let's save the clip till after.
We're going to save the clip till after. Our guest today in episode 110, she is an actor. You may recognize her from Haunted Museums and the series Walk in the Park. She's also a singer and musical theater performer, and she's one of our most recent audition session directors here at Actors Audition Club, helping other actors shoot their auditions. Please give a Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club welcome to Jessi Elgood.
Hello.
Welcome. Nice to see you. How are you?
I am splendid. How about you?
Fantastic. You're in your studio there. Bet you were backstage for a while wondering, hey, I thought I was a guest on this podcast.
Oh, no, it's nice to listen. I have to say, when you were talking about Cinderella, congrats on the panto, by the way. I was thinking about Prince Charming, and I was like, I don't know if he actually is with her by the end, but I was thinking Sondheim's Into the Woods. So me being musical theater, I was like, oh, that's a different ending than probably your panto. So that makes sense.
Oh, you're getting shout
I'm happy
out.
to be here.
You're getting shout outs already. Somebody from YouTube here, Jacqueline Janis or Jacqueline Janis. She says, hello. Yay. Hi, Jessi. You know her?
I do. Yes. Lovely fellow actor friend.
Nice.
So hi, Jackie.
Thank you for joining us, Jackie. All right. Well, Jessi, if you've listened to any of our episodes so far, if you haven't, no worries. But we begin with the 1 minute life story of our guest. Brandon's going to put a minute on the clock, and you got to tell us all about Jessi Elgood. You got 1 minute to do it. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jessi Elgood's 1 minute life story starting now.
Hello, my name is Jessi. I was born, I'm a twin, totally opposite of my twin. And I used to go to speech therapy because nobody could understand me talking. And then they told me to go into to music therapy. So I went to a voice coach to help with diction. And then I found out I loved singing. So I got to be a musical stage stuff. I started, my first professional show was Grapes of Wrath with Stratford Festival when I was 14, 15. And then I decided that I wanted to do performance work for the rest of my life. So I hopped over to England, went to Gilford School of Acting for a degree in musical theater. And since then, I've worked over in England, Japan, Canada. And then most recently, I was off doing a short rehearsal swing contract with Norwegian Cruise Lines. So that's where I'm at. And now I'm auditioning, performing, and going into intimacy direction and coordination, and looking into restorative justice theater work as well. So that's me. Oh, do I have time? 7. I don't know how much time I have left.
Way over.
We're way over, but that's all right.
Oh, was I?
A minute and 10 seconds.
Oh, no, I didn't even notice the timer. Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought you were going to go beep. That's okay. I was close.
You have a good life story, so we didn't want to cut you off. You were on a roll there. But ding, 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 ding. That was Jessi Elgood's 1 minute and 10 second life story. It actually works out because this is episode 110. So instead of 1 minute, you did 1 minute and 10 seconds. Yes, it was meant to be. I just want to acknowledge and point out your first ever performance. You're like, where do I want to start? Stratford Festival, only like one of the most acclaimed acting venues in the entire globe. That's impressive. Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I didn't exactly choose it. It was, they had a casting call and I fit the description of a young kid in a weed patch kid, and I had to do dance stuff. And so I thought, oh, I'll try that. And then
choose or no choose, your first gig was Stratford, and there's
true. It was an amazing experience.
Thousands of actors aspiring to get on a Stratford stage. So congrats. And also super cool that when you were younger, you mentioned that you had some voice and speech and diction requiring some therapy, and then therapy led to voice classes and singing, and here you are. It's like one of the most important things, obviously, is being seen and or heard. So kudos to you for overcoming what something at one point might have been seen as a weakness, and now it's by far one of your strengths.
Exactly. Well, now that I have my mic here, hopefully my diction is okay. The only word I really struggle with, or letter, is L. L is a big struggle, but I avoid them as much as I can, and it works out. Most people don't know that.
Laughing Vikings or Lars is a challenge.
When it's at the beginning of words, it's okay. It's more at the end. So like ball.
Interesting. So what, kind of gets you tongue-tied a little bit, or?
Yeah, it's dark L's, like the dark L's rather than soft. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But now everyone will notice it. It's fine.
Right. Well, Daniel Hope, who's watching at home, says, I wouldn't have been able to guess. You sound perfect. So
perfect. Okay. Well, thank you.
Kudos to you and your voice and speech teachers.
Yeah, it worked.
Now, you mentioned Stratford being your like that was your first professional thing. Was that actually like your first performance on stage?
No, I did do a community theater performance. I did it a lot, like maybe 15 shows from when I was younger to graduating high school. But I started with Annie Get Your Gun.
Annie Get Your Gun was your first one?
Performance as Little Jake. So I got to wear a coonskin hat and play the comb. I think they had me play a comb in like this little music thing. Yeah. So that was my first role.
One of those little weird.
Yeah,
I think it's son. Like
that's her.
Jake, is that
her brother, her young brother. Can't get a man with a gun. I think it was that song, and then yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Wow. So is that still on your? Is that still in your special skills that you can play the comb?
No, it should be though. I probably could. Oh, it was comb and the like when you have a big bottle and you blow into it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah,
I love those bottles. Those are great.
It was great, and I remember my first. When I auditioned for that, I think I sang "Tomorrow" from Annie. I think that, or either maybe. And my mom, they snuck my parents at the back of the room so that they could watch me for my audition because it was my first one. And so, yeah, for my audition, they let my parents sit in and watch, which was kind of cute.
Your mom heckled you from the back row?
Oh, I wish. I think she was crying at the end or something. And I turned around. I was like, what? I was like 7 or 8 at the time.
That's
so kind of young.
That's my baby.
Yeah.
Cast her. That's great.
Yeah.
So you play the comb and the jug. I believe it's called the jug. I think that's
and the jug. Yes, the jug. I should put on my resume. It's not, but why not? Should put every skill.
Yeah, it'll come up. The one time in your life that it comes up, boom, you can jump on that.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, so your first paid gig that Stratford show? When's the first time you got money? Did that blow your mind?
I think it was Stratford.
Yeah?
I think it was Stratford. Maybe ask my parents before. But no, I think I did mostly community theater. I did audition for a few things. There was some winter thing that I auditioned for and I didn't get. And other stuff that I did, Cirque du Soleil, but I never got it. I think Stratford was the first thing that I booked that was actually professional that I got.
Do you remember much about Stratford? Anything you want to tell us? Anything stands out? Do you remember any of the leads in it? Who was
Oh
actually playing
yeah, we had a great cast. So our director was Anthony Cimolino, and then we had Shalina Kennedy, Evan Bueling, Janet Wright, who sadly passed away a few years ago, and Josh Young. Tons of really, really talented people. Paul Nolan, all in our cast. So I feel very thankful that I got to work with them, because now they're all Broadway and like doing other stuff that's fabulous. But it was the first time. I don't know why this is the first thing that I remember when you're in a room professionally first, but in the rehearsal room, people weren't talking. When you're in community theater, people have little side conversations and they have to make sure that they're quiet. In a professional setting, when everyone was so dedicated to the craft and wanting to work, that's when I went, oh, I love this. Because I was that kid in the rehearsal room who's like, everyone be quiet. They're trying to talk. They're trying to choreograph. And so that's when I went, oh, I want to do this professionally. It's a lot more organized and calm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You're like, there's no ragtag bunch of misfits here. These are people who are serious pros. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just a few of us kids that were in. It was kind of nice. There were 5 of us, I think, that were under 18. So we all got really close, but everyone else was older. I remember Mark Cassius, who was in there. He did us like a little tap routine. He taught us some tap stuff. So yeah, it was just, everyone was really, really nice.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Now we have a clip we want to roll. So Brandon, I will give you and Jessi, you can help me set it up. We like to say roll the clip. We like to say, but we really roll our R's.
I can't roll my R's.
And there might be a dark L at the end of roll. Roll the clip. We found her kryptonite. Only 10 minutes in, and we found her kryptonite. It is rolling in R's. So you don't ever.
I can't do it either, Jessi. I get it.
You don't ever audition for the roll up the rim to win commercials for Tim Hortons.
Absolutely not. I'd be cut right away. Roll the clip.
I'll give my best here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see some acting from Jessi Elgood. Time to roll the clip.
All good?
This change in pace, it feels good.
Change is the only constant we have in life. The Earth is still spinning, you know? It might not feel like it right now, but it is. Take some time these next few days for yourself, okay? You got nothing to lose.
Well, Emma, if I'm not careful, got some damage control to do.
Just call her. And who knows, maybe this time away from each other, you'll figure it out.
What about Emma? You can't just leave. Give me one more day.
Oh, Tristan, allow yourself to live! What's one more day gonna do?
What happens after the world ends?
Huh? What the fuck has Dan been telling you?
And when was the first time he mentioned this old man?
When, me and my boyfriend Bobby went to go look at a house.
They were looking for a place out in the country.
He came with us. And he said he saw an old man.
So you've all heard Casey talk about the old man?
Yeah. Is it gone?
Come solace, I'm way down the silent
little sample of Jessi Elgood.
Yeah.
Some spooky haunted museum action going on there.
It's weird watching yourself. It's weird.
Yeah. I recognized your one of your co-stars, the priest. I'm spacing on his name, but I know that actor. I think I've been on set with him a bunch before.
Yeah, Nick. I think when I was talking to him on that set, he was like, I've been cast as a priest like 5 times in a row. So for some reason, he's like, it just works. So probably
he's got that look.
Yeah, he's got the look. Got the look.
Yeah, those reenactment shows here in Toronto, they keep us all busy, especially early on in our non-union career here in Toronto.
Haunted Museum seems different because it's more scripted. I feel like there's more scenes, like acting scenes, right? I'm not sure. I've never been on it, so I don't really know.
From what I know, it's all because it streams in the States. So that's what's a challenge, I think, for a lot of actors working here. You film stuff and then it's on streaming platforms that aren't accessible in Canada.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is it out? I don't know. But from what I've gathered, it's all based off of true stories, based on the haunted museum and the artifacts that they have there in the actual museum. But it's fully scripted. So it's all the story reenacted, but there's no like interviews with people who actually experienced it. It's all the retelling of stuff. Yeah. Which is kind of cool.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
Nice.
I like that.
The other thing I wanted to just talk about, Jessi, is your training. You said you went to England, London?
Yeah, or just outside of London, Gilford.
Yeah. You want to talk about your training experience a little bit?
Sure. So I went over there when I was 17 to study musical theater at the Gilford School of Acting. And we, you work on all the standard stuff that you do for school. It's a 3-year degree. So got to do all the different types of dancing, singing, studying all the older Kurt Weill fun stuff. And then final year got to do a few performances downtown and then graduated in 2017.
What were your final show performances?
So we had 5 shows technically, but each person was only in 3.
Okay.
End of second year was Steel Pier, which is actually one of my favorite musicals. I'd love to put that on. Thoroughly Modern Millie.
Oh, nice.
Guys and Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
And Speak Low, which was a piece that was written, a new adaptation of Kurt Weill work. So like his one song, Speak Low, and they included that and kind of goes through his life with Kurt Weill and Lottie Lenya. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Brandon knows this, but one of my favorite musicals of all time is Phantom of the Opera. Have you ever seen Phantom of the Opera?
Do you know what? Living in London for 3+ years, and I never saw it. But I have friends who are in the cast. Hi, Connor, if you're here, or someone. People who are in the show. I hear it's great. I mean, I've technically seen it. I've technically seen the show, but the recording of it. The anniversary performance. Yeah. But I haven't actually seen stage.
Well, fun fact is the New York run is the longest run of any musical ever, like 35 years. I think they did something like 20,000 performances. It's the largest employer on Broadway. It's had the largest number of audience members, something like 2 million audience members have seen it. And it's like nothing is even close. Like when it passed whoever was second, it's like, I think it's like double the length. Its run is twice as long as anything that's in second place. So what I want to pitch, I pitched this to a few stand-up audiences, Brandon, and I'm going to run by you, Jessi. I think that show being so successful, Phantom of the Opera, I want to get the rights from Andrew Lloyd Webber to do all the spin-offs, because the way I see it, if you're a phantom, if you're a ghost, even if you are a singer, you're not just hanging out in an opera house the whole time. You're floating around, checking out other places. So I want to spin off. I want Phantom of the Library, Phantom of the Laundromat, Phantom of the Bus Station, and just everywhere else a ghost can be. So instead of it's like in the library, it's the Phantom of the Library. And if you were Christine, I'd say to you, I'd say, read for me, Christine, read for me. And then for some reason they still sing. Everyone's still singing, even though it's in the library. Maybe the librarian is shushing everyone because we're singing in the library. There's probably a whole song and dance about the Dewey Decimal System. You see where I'm going with this, right?
I see. It feels like you already have a plan. Like
yeah.
It's already,
Oh, the wheels are in motion.
You just need to organize that. I mean, you can get away with parody.
Right.
If something is enough of a parody, then you kind of can get away with it with rights. I know, with SNL, have you seen those scenes that John Mulaney wrote for SNL with Phantom or Les Mis? It started Les Mis, and then I think he did a Phantom one with like
the
a
lobster sketch. Yeah,
lobster.
That's a
but
great
then
sketch.
there's another sketch that he did, same idea, but it's Phantom, but I forget what it was. It's something similar. I think the lobster was Les Mis, but have a look at that and then take the inspiration and see how you can get away with it without getting into.
So that was like they made the lobster the lead of the show.
The lobster was about to get eaten, and then they basically were trying to defend him.
Gotcha. Daniel Hope says Phantom of the Phantom of the Alley. Yeah.
That's actually scary. That sounds like a horror film.
A murder mystery. Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially Batman.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Think about it.
Well, we're going to work on it. Andrew Lloyd Webber, if you're listening.
Andrew
Lloyd, if you're listening. And
Andrew, what are you doing?
You are not, but if you are, and it's time. It's time for Phantom spinoffs. Whole spinoff series. And maybe the organ grinder monkey in Phantom gets his own spinoff. The chandelier gets its own spinoff. Just chandelier.
The chandelier needs its story told.
Right.
See, that's the thing we keep forgetting about Phantom.
Who made it? Where did it come from? When it fell down, did it ever get fixed?
Exactly.
Like Beauty and the Beast, where all the things come to life.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The chandelier didn't come to life, did it?
No.
No,
needs
it didn't.
Tap number.
It does need a tap number.
Well, there you go. I'm glad you're on board. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Jacqueline is part of the reason I was bringing it up is closing. The last performance is I think the tail end of February this coming. So last chance if you want to see it on Broadway. Although I'm sure it'll reopen at some point. It'll reboot, but we will reboot. Phantom of the Alley will Phantom of the Opera will close, and Phantom of the Library will open. I think Phantom of the Library has got to be the first one. Phantom of the Bowling Alley maybe is good. Phantom of the Hospital. So much potential. All right. The other thing I want to talk about today, Jessi, is the reason that you're here and the reason we met you is you are one of our newest audition session directors here at Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club, where you're helping other actors shoot their professional auditions for television, film, theater. Now you've been doing it for a few weeks. You've run a bunch of sessions with actors. Tell us about your experience, what you enjoy about that so far.
It's what I like is that everybody, you have to be personalize every experience with each person because they're all coming in from different avenues, going for different types of roles. What have I seen? Maybe I think, the experience for everybody is going to be different. Some people come in and they know exactly what they want. And so I think it's just us helping wherever they're at in life because they're, paying for us to help them be the best that they can be. So it's really like a team effort with each person, which I love. And by the end of it, everybody has seemed very excited and happy with their takes and have gotten to a place that they didn't really expect that they'd get before they started the session. So yeah, I think that's what I've liked the most so far. It's all different with each person.
Amazing. And what would you say to anyone looking, watching, listening today who's looking to book a session. Why book a session with Jessi Elgood?
Why book a session?
What can they expect from working with you?
I think with me, just like a lot of actors, I've gone through all the different types of tapes when it comes to like making sure that your eye line is good, lighting, all the technical side. But when it comes to me personally, I really love diving in and examining intentions, the befores and afters of the scene. And I think that for me as a reader, when I'm working with someone, that I love being as informed as possible, because I think having a great reader also really helps with your tape. At the end, having a reader that knows what's going on can help feed you what you need so that you can have the best performance. So I think that's why you should go with me, because I'm a great reader. But I also, I think that I love asking questions for people to be able to fully know what their intentions are, and also breaking down how a tape can be as diverse as possible when it comes to emotions and stakes, so that you have high stakes and that you can show all different sides of you, so that the director knows that you are malleable and that they can work well with you.
Mm-hmm.
Good word,
Yeah.
malleable.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. And in an audition, you want to paint with, as our one of our coaches, Tom Todoroff, says, you want to paint with as many colors, or you want to play as many keys, all the keys on the play all the notes, rather than just keeping it one noted. So that's great. And you've been running tons of sessions here, so you can actually book with Jessi directly. If you go to laughingvikings.com/Jessi, and if you go to the menu, there's actually a button in there to book a studio session, or to book a in-person session, or a Zoom session. So you'll see that at laughingvikings.com/Jessi. There it is. There you go.
There I am.
Great.
Yeah.
There she is. That's Jessi. Yeah, you recognize Jessi? This is a Jessi Inception right here. A Jess Inception. There's two of them on camera right now. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, we can close that, Brandon. Jessi, what is your dream project that you aspire to create?
Dream project to create.
Or be a part of. If you're not the creator, what would be a top aspiration for you?
Well, I'd love to direct a production of Steel Pier, which I mentioned before. If anybody wants to give me money so I can do a full production of Steel Pier, I will happily direct that. But I think where I am at the moment, my dream role would be to play Dot in Sunday in the Park with George. So that's like a dream role that I'd love to do. And I love creating and working on new works. So creating stuff that has an important message that I don't think's been delivered. And I also am really fascinated in restorative justice theater that works with people who are incarcerated. So that's something that I'd really love to dive into as either an actor or somebody involved in the actual production process. For example, somebody I know who went to school with me a year above, he's doing Betty Blue Eyes, a full stage production that's going to be put in a Class A prison in London,
Wow.
UK. So there six of the actors are people who are actually inmates. So it's a fascinating way of how you can, help people share their stories and process emotions and go through that. So that's something that I'm really interested in getting into at some point. But it's not as big here in Canada. It's growing, but it's a lot bigger in England, that type of work.
Interesting. Which gives me another idea. Phantom of the Prison. Clearly.
You could do it. You could do it. I'm sure.
Right.
You can make that work.
Nice. Brandon, you got a question?
Yes. Jessi, the thing we always like to finish off with is, what advice would you give to your past artist self? So maybe you at 14, maybe you just about to travel to England. What would you say to Jessi Elgood, the past Jessi Elgood?
I think it's probably two things.
Mm-hmm.
Casting directors do not determine your value. I think everybody's different and you never know what people are looking for. And I used to really be hard on myself and think, oh, I didn't look this way, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. And whether you get cast in something or not doesn't determine whether you are talented or not, or whether you are valuable.
Mm-hmm.
If people aren't casting you, make your own work. You don't need to rely on sit back and wait for somebody to think that you're good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Create. I know it's easier said than done, but there's tons of different grants that you can apply for. And I think that there is a way for you to be able to get your work out there. So if other people aren't seeing it, when you're getting into a room, create it yourself.
Boom. Yeah, I love that. Both of your advice were really under the heading of maintain and keep your own personal power. Don't give your own personal power away to outside forces, to other gatekeepers, to people who are quote unquote controlling opportunities. You gotta, like, if you audition and you don't get it, you just didn't get it. That doesn't mean that you didn't have a great performance. That doesn't mean you're not a great performer. And if people
doesn't mean you don't have value.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said.
Yeah. And even beyond as an actor, obviously just being an actor is only one small compartment of being a human being. So I think it's dangerous. And it happens a lot for artists where everything rises and falls on the career side of things, whether you're a musician or an actor or a stand-up comedian. You take your self-worth based on what you're being cast in. Are you moving up the ladder? Are you making more money? Are you being are you getting like exposure in media and things like that, rather than just realizing if you're on this earth and you're a human being, you got a lot of value, and you have everything you need inside you to make a great life, which is why you should also create your own stuff too. So that was also great advice. Thank you for sharing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. People aren't letting you play on their playground. Create your own playground.
Exactly.
Can I finish one thing, though? This is particular with theater more so. Throughout the pandemic, it was great that a lot of directors, artistic directors and companies were doing Q&As. They were doing workshops for you to sing or perform and do stuff. And the biggest thing I learned is every single person has different opinions. So I think just with the casting as well, that every single person, I realized the way that they like certain things could be totally opposite with another director in another company. So you have to do the best you can do when you go into the moment, be as informed as you can be, and then let it go. Because everyone has different opinions, and that's totally fine.
Yeah. I've brought this up before, where like you get on set or something after you've booked your role or whatever, and they always tell you, oh my God, as soon as we saw you, you were the one, you were the person we wanted. And it's like, those things happen so many times during your career, your long career, that it's okay when you're not that guy or that person. Like it doesn't always go in your favor. It doesn't always turn out the way you want sometimes, but like it always works out for you in the end, as long as you just keep going with it and keep doing the best you that you can continuously.
Exactly. Be as prepared, as informed as possible, and then you got to let it go. Got to shake it off.
Yes, in the words of Frozen, let it go, let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
All right. This has been fantastic, Jessi. Any final words, Brandon, Jessi, as we steer this ship?
Not at the moment. Thank you so much for having me. It's a busy artsy day for me, so I'm excited to get hopping and rolling and seeing all the lovely theater in the city.
Yeah, what do you have? You have another show, or you're going to see a show, or you're in a show?
Well, today I'm going to a round table with Theater Gargantua. So it's some emerging artists to learn and talk about art. And then I'm going to see Ex-Boyfriend Yard Sale, which is at Soul Pepper by Haley McKee, if anyone wants to see that.
Nice. And Brandon and I, in about an hour, we're taking off to go do a corporate dinner theater murder mystery over in North York somewhere. So we've had those all week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We've got shows this week. So we're also very, very busy. It's great. It's great. Well, thank you so much. Everyone, we'll link up Jessi's contact info. You can contact her directly to book an audition at laughingvikings.com/Jessi. Either in studio in Toronto or via Zoom if you're outside of Toronto or you like the Zoom deal. Make sure to smash that subscribe button on all of the podcast platforms, whatever one is your favorite. And we'll be back every week here on Wednesdays right now on Facebook and YouTube. I think that's it. Yeah, we did it.
We did it. Yay!
Thank you.
Jessi Elgood, everyone. And don't forget Comedy Alley. Don't forget Cinderella. Don't forget myself and Bob Rubin at the Royal Comedy Theatre this weekend, October 21st and 22nd.
Have a good week, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Ciao.
Bye.